In a quiet village nestled among rolling hills, Elias, a young man with a restless spirit, gazed daily at the towering Mount Eldridge. Its jagged peak pierced the clouds, a symbol of dreams just out of reach. Elias dreamed of standing at its summit, where he could see the world stretch endlessly before him. But the mountain was infamous, steep, treacherous, and shrouded in mist. The villagers scoffed, "No one's ever reached the top. It's a fool's errand." Elias wasn't like the others. Where they saw impossibility, he saw a challenge. He wasn't born stronger or braver. He was just stubborn enough to believe he could do it. He began preparing, not with grand gestures but with quiet determination. Every dawn, he ran through the fields, his breath visible in the crisp morning air. He climbed smaller hills, learning how to grip slippery rocks and balance against gusting winds. He studied the mountain's paths, mapping routes in a tattered notebook. Failure was his teacher. Each stumble, each scraped knee, each storm that forced him back taught him to adapt. The villagers noticed his efforts but shook their heads. "Elias, you're wasting your youth," they'd say. Even his friends urged him to settle for an easier life. But Elias couldn't let go of the image of that summit. It wasn't just about the view. It was about proving to himself that he could rise above doubt, his own and others. One crisp autumn morning, Elias set out. His backpack held only essentials: water, a rope, and his notebook. The climb was grueling. Loose rocks slid underfoot and icy winds stung his face. Hours in, his legs burned and doubt crept in like a shadow. What if they're right? What if I can't do this? But he thought of every early morning run, every fall he'd risen from. He pressed on, step by painful step. Halfway up, a sudden storm hit. Rain lashed against him, and the path became a muddy trap. He slipped, nearly plummeting, but caught himself on a jagged outcrop. His heart raced, but he breathed deeply, remembering his training. He adjusted his route, finding a safer path. Hours later, exhausted but unbroken, Elias reached the summit. The clouds parted, revealing a sea of hills bathed in golden light. His village, tiny and distant, looked like a dream. Tears mixed with sweat as he stood tall, not just above the mountain, but above every doubt that had weighed him down. Elias returned to the village changed. The climb hadn't made him richer or famous, but it gave him something deeper: belief in his own resilience. The villagers, once skeptical, now listened to his story with wide eyes, some even inspired to chase their own dreams. Life's mountains, whether a career goal, a personal struggle, or a dream others call impossible, aren't climbed in a single leap. They demand small, gritty steps, showing up daily, learning from setbacks, and ignoring the naysayers. Elias's climb reminds us that the summit isn't just a place, it's the courage you build along the way. In your own life, every effort, no matter how small, is a step toward your peak. Keep climbing, because the view and the person you become is worth it.